Even
give me Africa. Give me Africa just 1 year. Give me Africa just for 1 year. 1 year. The day we hear that something has happened to Ibrahim Traoré, I will personally. You cannot say that the Berlin Conference was wrong, and yet our countries are legitimate. If Berlin Conference was illegitimate, all the present presidents, all the present borders, present countries are illegitimate because they were drawn up by an illegitimate Berlin Conference. So Ruto is illegitimate. Mnangagwa is illegitimate. Cyril Ramaphosa is illegitimate because their presidency is founded on the Berlin Conference, which was illegitimate in terms of marking boundaries. If you can't hear that, forget about it. Take the church with everything that it represents and go to hell and hang. Bunch of hypocrites. I don't believe in that. And by the way, when I'm sending the church to hell, I didn't say God is evil. The people that are running the system are evil. And if they know God, and that God that they know has not changed them, then they are the same. They're the same with the God that they believe in. Maybe I don't believe in both.
I would like us to speak more about Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Now, we all know what he's doing. We all know what AFRICOM is trying to do to him. Basically, what do you think about Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Mzee Maponga?
If you guys, if the day you hear, I want to declare war on the internet, I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared. The day we hear that something has happened to Ibrahim Traoré, I will personally leave my country. I will go and take a gun myself, and I'll go to war. In my own way, I will go and join the battlefront. The West does not understand peace, and you cannot talk peace unless you are ready for war. The young people of our generation, we cannot be reciting poems of how they killed Lumumba, how they killed Sankara, how they killed Kwame Nkrumah, how they killed Samora Machel, how they killed Chris Hani, how they killed Malcolm X, how they killed Martin Luther. For how long are we going to be doing poems? There's a time in history when Africa ruled this world, not with war, but with intelligence. But the white community is inhuman. They're destructive to nature. They're vandalists. They're unethical. They're immoral. They're capitalists. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hitler, Namibia, Congo. All the wars that are fought in Africa are fought with one tribe, which is less than 1/4 of this world. And that's a group of white people that are giving the whole world a nuisance. The virus of this world are white people, especially the capitalists. Yes, some of them are okay. Let me spare the Christians, those who pray and try to understand with us. But those are useless because they don't affect the system. They don't affect the policies. Their brothers, their sisters, and their cousins are the ones who are causing trouble. So the issue of Traore is very sensitive. If we in our generation allowed Traore to go down, we will have rewound our clock by another 100 years. Because the reason why they kill progressive black people, they want to demonstrate to other countries that don't try to fight the white man. Because we have superior weapons to you, we'll kill you. So how long are we going to live in fear? Personally, I'm dead already. I don't care. What I want is to make sure that my children can at least have a free country, freedom. They want freedom for their children. Who said we don't want freedom for our children also? And our freedom, the best part, we are not going to go to their countries if they can just leave us alone. Look at Traore. Look at Traore. He has cleared the debt. He owes France nothing. He owes IMF nothing. He owes World Bank nothing. Why are they worried? Are you not happy as the West to find a country that is debt-free. Oh, they're happy with Kenya. How much debt does Kenya have? But yet Kenya is rated as one of the top 3 best countries in the world. Why not rate Burkina Faso, which is debt-free? Zimbabwe is on the junkyard, but at least we have our land. We're recuperating our things. We're trying. Why not pick up the countries that are progressing and then benchmark that this is what countries must become? So it's not an honest system, which is literally interested in the development of Africa. This is the definition of neocolonialism. Neocolonialism says when a white man leaves your office, the black man who comes must continue to do what I was doing as long as I'm benefiting. I don't care how much freedom you have, as long as your finances in my hand. That's neocolonialism. In one sentence. It's freedom on paper. We give you a national anthem and a flag, but don't give you the bank and land.
Wow, wow, wow. And look at what Traore is doing. Building electric vehicles, their tomato processing plants, increasing rice production. I mean, he's basically doing what a president should do. He's loving and caring for his own people.
The World Health Organization is very excited every time they sit around the offices and they're discussing the poverty of Africa. 300 white people discussing how to solve poverty in Africa. But in the midst of solving their poverty in Africa, they're not interested in solving the poverty in Africa. Because poverty in Africa simply says, can you leave the Africans to feed themselves, give them their land? They didn't, by the way, when they came here, they did not find us dead. We were not importing food in the 1700s, 1600s, 1900s. We were not importing food. There was no drought in Africa. There was no starvation in Africa. There was no kwashiorkor. There was no malaria. There was no syphilis. There was no gonorrhea. There was no AIDS. There was no COVID. We had our pandemics and our epidemics. We solved our things ourselves. They found us here healthy and well. They would not have shipped up more than 45, 50 million Africans out of Africa if they were sick people. Those were healthy people.
Yeah.
So that the whole policy of the United Nations, and actually I want to make a declaration that all the 54 presidents of Africa, if I was given an opportunity, I would tell all of them to walk out of United Nations, show them the middle finger, walk up to World Health Organization, show them the middle finger, walk up to WTO, World Trade Organization, show them the middle finger, walk up to IMF, show them the middle finger. China did it for 30 years. 30 years. When they came back now, where are they? Where are they? If they can leave us, we call Traore, we call Mama Nandi, we call the presidents of Africa, call a Boss Barat meeting. Gentlemen, we are here. Who has uranium? Who has coal? Who has chrome? What can we do with everything that we have? What machineries do we need? What railways do we need? Corridors. We can trade amongst ourselves. Business. But if we cut the world off, Europe will starve. The industrialization of America will stop overnight. China will shut down. Middle East will shut down. Europe will shut down. They will eat their poop. I'm not joking. They destroyed Ukraine. They destroyed Ukraine. They're in war with Russia. There's no food in Europe. The only benefit they have is Netherlands. Netherlands cannot feed the whole of Europe. They left bank on Israel. Israel is at war right now. They can't plant. And again, while we are on that, this particular piece, you must cut it. I want to say it very nicely. Africans, Africans, when your enemies are at war, don't join them. Europe is fighting Europe. America is fighting Europe. Europe is fighting China. China is fighting Arabs. Arabs are fighting America. America is fighting Russians. Africa is out of the picture. Stay away from war. My advice for Africa today, start planting food. Start planting food. Start planting food. When they finish war, they will all be hungry. You will reinstate yourself as a breadbasket of the world. Here's the proverb, like an old man. When your enemy wants to burn his father's house, please give him the matchstick.
Ah, okay.
You get it?
I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it.
We need right now, this year, particularly this year, I wish I could speak to all the African presidents and say, focus on agriculture extensively. Because what you are seeing happening in Israel today and in Iraq, what has happened in Ukraine, in Russia, in China, in America, the benefit that Africa has just over food only, food and water, by the way, because while they're dropping these bombs and nuclears on each other, they're contaminating water, they're contaminating the soil, so their food and their air. I'm not joking. If this war cracks on, the only safe place to live so far will be Africa and India. I'm speaking to you like a prophet now. If you want me to speak in tongues, I'm not a tongue-speaking prophet, but I'm telling the truth. The day they drop, if you hear that Russia or Israel or Iraq or North Korea or China has dropped a nuclear bomb, you must know that the food security production has been messed up for the next 150 years. Do your research. You in Africa, you have one of the biggest, largest water reserves in the world, fresh water, plus food. So please tell your presidents, don't get involved in war. Go to the fields and plow. Let's fill up our granaries with food. When they finish killing each other, they will come begging for food. And a hungry stomach does not know politics. I'm not joking. We will have white people as housemates in our houses.
Wow. 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 Wow.
You are the first one. You are the first one to hear this.
You really think so, Mzee? You really think so?
I'm not thinking so. I'm saying the day you hear that the nuclear bomb has dropped anywhere, the value of Africa will shoot into the sky. I'm the watcher from the future, living with you in the present, with solutions from the past. I'm telling you what I know.
Wow. 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 That's heavy. That's heavy. That's super heavy. That's probably the most heavy thing I've ever had in this show. That's heavy. That's heavy. Wow. But you spoke about the African presidents. You know, if they listen to, I'm sure they listen to you, Mzee Maponga. I'm sure they listen to you. Why don't they just do the right thing?
Power corrupts the mind. A few of them have reached out, but they don't take us seriously, which is okay. You are the future young people, and I speak to you from my heart, from a heart full of conviction. I speak to you on behalf of all your ancestors, with a full understanding of what I'm saying. I speak on behalf of the dead. I speak on behalf of the living. I speak on behalf of those that are still yet to come. Having walked the three spaces, I can declare to you right now, you have a window of opportunity as Africa to reinstate your position. Africa was great before Europe even knew what greatness was all about. We have the technology, we have the preservation, we have the nature, we have the maternal instincts of preservation, which the rest of the world does not know. They're right now contaminating the whole of Africa with what they call industrialization. That's not industrialization, that's destruction. They want our country and our continent to become like their continents. You can't even drink a glass of water from the Thames River. You can't even drink it. Even a dog can't drink it. Now you want Africa to look like London? So you want to destroy the Serengeti and put buildings there and put concrete? What's going to happen to all those animals? You want to destroy Lake Nile, the River Nile, and put industries and pump sewage water into the water there? Is that what industrialization is all about? You want to become like the Rhine River? You want to become the Mississippi River? Why can't we learn as Africans to see what industrialization has done to those that have gone ahead of us, and then create ecologically friendly cities that are cities of the future? But the cities of the future are cities of the past, young men. This is Timbuktu. This is the Great Zimbabwe. This is Carthage. This is Abyssinia. This is Makongo. In the ancient times, we were building cities, empires. Young men, when you look into the past, see the future.
When you look into the past, see the future.
Where they are going, that's where we are coming from.
Wow.
Because every industry that eats into its nature and destroys its nature, the nature reminds them that you are mortal. And when nature swallows them, it resets them back to factory settings. Hey,
nature.
I'm moving into the philosophical world. My mind is moving way ahead of you. Let me come back a little bit. When you forget that for you to live, you need basic things in life: clean water, clean air, and clean soil. When you forget to preserve those three elements and you pollute them, then what nature does, it kills you with diseases, with pandemics, and etc. And it resets itself. Those that remain start afresh again from zero. Let's learn.
In short, nature always wins. Nature always wins. Always.
You can study history. All nature needs is one morning to whistle itself in the sea, and a tsunami can tell you that all your technologies, fire can tell you in California, all your technologies, epidemics can tell you that it can simply take just 1, 2, 3 years. It can wipe a third of this world and reset itself. Mother Nature does not need us. We need her.
Very true. Very, very true.
Hey, it's your girl Kia from Traverse Culture.
And it's your boy Orino from Sell Africa to Africans. And so Sell Africa to Africans is partnering with Traverse Culture with an initiative called Journey Back to Eden, which will be from which date to which date, Kia?
December the 28th to January the 4th. That's the 7-day itinerary. And December the 28th till January the 8th is the 12th-day itinerary with a 3-day event where we will have a business conference, a cultural exchange expo, and New Year celebration.
Yes, exactly. So this is an opportunity for you Africans in the diaspora to come back home because we love you and we miss you. This is your home. I know it's been 400 years, but this is a good first step to get introduced to Africa through Kenya. So please come home, have fun, but mostly learn and socialize and build relationships with Kenyans. We are willing to talk. We are willing to just socialize and get to know you well, because that's the foundation of how we are going to live as Africans once we unite and we live together in future. So come home, welcome home, Karibu Kenya, and Africa is for Africans.
Speaking of that, Mzee Maponga, I was looking at this video of Bill Gates. Let's talk about like climate change. Bill Gates has, and all these powerful rich people, they always say that population control is one of the strategies to curb climate change. And I'm like, wait, what? Population coup? What do you think about that? What do you like? What do you think about that?
It's a sensitive subject. The sensitive subject, because that literally speaks to the global West and pharmaceuticals and the evil. And I don't need to convince you about the mischief of COVID. And they started advertising is 3 years ago that another pandemic is coming, maybe the end of this year or end of next year. So I know you can use a telescope to look into other things. You can use a microscope to look into smaller things. You can use a speedometer to see how fast you're running. You can use a thermometer to measure your disease and your temperature of your body. So can you tell me, which instrument do you use to see that a pandemic is coming? Which instrument?
Exactly.
Except that you're going to release it when you want to release it. So in one word, there's no instrument that is there that can tell us that next year we're going to have a flu disease. It's not possible. Unless you have the virus and you're going to plant it somewhere and then make it grow. I mean, we've seen the monkey disease. We've seen the chicken pox issue. We've seen the syphilis problem. We've seen the influenza and chicken flu. We've seen COVID. And all these things are laboratory instrumented things. And it's a shame for us to say, but it's true, that pharmaceutical companies make money from diseases. So when they want to make their profits, they create the disease, create the solutions, and they sell to the governments and protect themselves. It's as simple as that. Their business is your disease. And unfortunately, they pay your governments to approve that. And so it's a circus. It's a circus. We're dealing with a capitalistic world here, where when they want profit, then they put diseases in your food, in your water. I mean, they sell you junk foods. And then you get sick, then they sell you medicines to treat the diseases. And while they're treating diseases, they're making you sick again. It's a cruel world, young man. It's cruel. And unfortunately, we've gone to school, but school has not gone through us. We still have not mastered to understand that this system destroys us. You can't speak English when you're hungry, young man. It's illegal.
Yeah.
A hungry person must not speak in English. That's a bit cruel, yeah.
No. But we have gone to school, but school hasn't gone through us. That's a bar. That's wow. That's a bar.
Because the idea is to go to learn. But unfortunately, we've gone to school, but I don't think we've learned anything. We've not learned how to conserve. We've not learned how to preserve. We've not learned how to farm. We've not learned how to understand how the world runs, how nature functions, how our bodies are related to this. We come back, I have a BSc in accounting, I have a master's in this, I have an engineer in this. You put all those engineers together, all of them are holding pieces of paper, are hereby apply for a job. None of us can solve one single problem. We are still shipping toothpicks from China. Toothpicks. Toothpick, earbud. You have to take a piece of stick and put a cotton wool. You are importing that. A whole engineer. You can't make a machine that makes an earbud. To make a pad for our girls. There's a piece of cloth and small cotton wool. We can't do that. How educated are we? Give me Africa. Give me Africa just 1 year. Give me Africa just for 1 year. 1 year.
You know what? That's my next question. Let's say you're in charge of Africa. What would you do? What? Yeah.
Number one, not a single drop of gold leaves this continent. I put all that on the one stock exchange, an African stock exchange, which trades with the rest of the world, but on our terms. And the price of gold is equivalent to London. Value for minerals. That happens to all the 486 minerals that they're getting out of Africa. One stock exchange. Number two, one passport for all Africans. People must be free to move wherever they want to go and settle as Africans. Number three, one language. Start educating so that we can talk to each other for transaction. A commercial language. I'm not destroying cultural languages. They will still remain. But we need a common language. Right now, you are where you are. I'm where I am. But through the English medium, we've been able to plug into each other's minds. If there was no English, you'll have been speaking Kikuyu, me speaking Karanga and Shona, we will have quit this conversation an hour ago. One language. But number 3, 4, I'll take 100,000 soldiers from each country. I'll have 5.4 million soldiers standing strong to patrol the African coastline from Cape to Cairo, around the whole continent. One army. Take all the military weapons that we have and position them around the continent. Universities of agriculture, technology, and etc. Ghana, what are you good at? Swaziland, what are you good at? South Africa, what are you good at? For the benefit of the continent. And create a one family. All countries will become provinces. Africa will be one country. The rest is history. The rest is history. We have more in unity, less in division. You cannot take China, 1.4, 1.6 billion people, to do business with Zambia, which is 15 million people. It's a non-starter. You're putting 100 tons weight on a 2 kg thing. It crushes it. Your GDP, your power, what you have nothing. Your country is like a province where they're coming from. But imagine the strength of our GDP as a continent when we can put ourselves together. If you see what Traore has done in 3 years, 3 years, what stops us from right now producing our own weapons, producing our own cars, producing our own solutions, planting our own food, using our own knowledge to feed ourselves, distribute ourselves on the continent and settle ourselves as Africans and be happy and proud to be Africans. Our own soccer, our own indigenous games, our own medicines, no more pharmaceuticals, our own governments, our own governance and education system, developing solutions for ourselves. We have never gone to Europe and America and told them what to do with themselves. Why are they here telling us what to do with ourselves? Mugabe said we've not claimed an inch of the British soil. An inch. You find the Anglo-American government here is having 150, 200 square kilometers of land in Zimbabwe. 200, which is almost the size of Britain. To one man. In the name of what? Commonwealth. My foot, that's common poverty.
Commonwealth, common poverty. Wow. Wow. Heavy.
If I would be president of Africa, all I would wish, number one, it is to make sure we establish cultural ties that bind us together. I'll find what is it that connects us together to one another. I would struggle. I would walk from Cape to Cairo in that 1 year. I would not drive. I would walk on foot and mobilize the whole continent to one unified center so that we can begin to live together. From border to border. And what is the mess is that even countries that think that they're divided on both sides of the river, on both sides of the border, they are relatives. So where are we divided? Where do you cut and say, okay, the Kikuyus stop here, the Luos start here. Okay, you are Kenyan, you are Kenyan. Which province you come? Which province do you come from?
I come from the Rift Valley. Yeah.
So where does the Rift Valley end? If I say walk with me to the Rift Valley, draw a line where it ends. Where does it end? You still go for another 40, 60, 80, 100, 200 kilometers. You find still other Luos and other Kikuyus that side. So where do we stop and cut the cord and say it stops here? But anyway, but as the Europeans with their insensitivity of sitting around the table and they take a ruler and they just draw and say, okay, you are that side. You are this side. And if we cannot legitimize colonialism, I've said this and I'll keep on saying it until you young people understand it. And I'll say it until your presidents get fed up with me. You cannot say that the Berlin Conference was wrong, and yet our countries are legitimate. If Berlin Conference was illegitimate, all the present presidents, all the present borders, all the present countries are illegitimate because they were drawn up by an illegitimate Berlin Conference. So Ruto is illegitimate. Mnangagwa is illegitimate. Cyril Ramaphosa is illegitimate because their presidency is founded on the Berlin Conference, which was illegitimate in terms of marking boundaries. If you can't hear that, forget about it.
Yeah, I agree.
We are dealing with illegitimate presidents who are running an illegitimate system,
which
is being managed by illegitimate shareholders who are abusing the legitimate owners of the land.
I agree.
They use the Roman Dutch law on us. Are we Romans? Are we Dutch? Then give us passports, all of us. Go to Roman and Dutch. And the first article in law is jurisdiction. So if you are saying you are running a Roman Dutch law, where is Roman and Dutch in Kenya? Where is Roman and Dutch in Zimbabwe?
Nowhere.
Africa is bound by this law, which is done in Netherlands. Where is Netherlands in Africa here?
Nowhere.
Yet that is the law. That is the foundation of your democracy, with the foundation of your constitution. So the whole thing is illegitimate. We belong to the natural law. My father's grave is my title deed to my land, not a piece of paper. The revolution, young man, it's a revolution.
Wow. That's heavy. You're dropping bombs today. You're dropping bombs today. Woo! Oh man. I think we can finally shift gears to religion. Now I know this is your power topic. Let me tell you, this is how I actually got introduced to you. So I stopped going to church personally. I stopped. I started questioning everything, and when you question everything, you just stop going because the answers you get is overwhelming. So I guess my question is, because I realized that especially when I was asking myself questions about Pan-Africanism, about white supremacy, about everything, religion always came into my way. Do you think religion is in the way of African freedom?
Maybe let me start with you. What when you were a religious person, what were you taught?
Well, I was taught that Jesus was white. that's number one. All the books, all the lesson books, all the movies, all the imagery about various Bible characters were white.
What were you told about? What did the religion tell you about land? Where is your land? Where are you going? Why are you on earth?
To heaven.
Right. And what must you do with your enemies?
Turn the other cheek.
Right. So when you look, I just asked you 3 questions so far, 3 only. When you look into those things, number one, the question of heaven already tells you that don't get interested in development. Because in a little while, Jesus is coming back. This world will be destroyed by fire when he returns, and all of us will be gone from here. So don't waste time with the things of this world. You know, take the world. We even sing a song, but give me Jesus. Take the world, but give me Jesus.
Yeah.
La, 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 la. La 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 la. And we look into the sky and we cry, you know, all the bounds and riches of mercy, all the grace that abounds above, and oh, for the joy of our hearts that we shall be caught up, meet up the Lord in the air in a little while. In a little while, we're going home. We're going home. You are pacified. Don't worry about development. Don't worry about the things of this world. But after you've not worried about the things of this world, where are you going on Monday morning?
Mm.
You're going to work, man. The landlord wants his rent. The school fees must be paid. Your wife wants money for food.
Yeah.
When there's no food in the house, will you say, let's pray? My brother. So you find that theology, this colonial theology. I wish we could do theology when all of us have food in our stomachs. We have land in our hands. In the abundance of life, then let's discuss these things of God. But let's not make heaven a place to escape to because we're running away from poverty. Because God did not bring us here for poverty. The poverty we are suffering is political poverty. It's not natural poverty. It is made up. And to replace that with theology, that's why me and the church we quarreled. That don't tell me about heaven. Because you are oppressing me now. And you're postponing my fulfillment when Jesus comes, when you are enjoying yourself. My father is being paid $7 a month as retirement after spending more than 50 years in the church as a pastor. $7 a month, inclusive to transport, medical support, and food and sustainability. He must survive on $7 a month. This is the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Mm.
This is me. You can tell Nelson, tell whoever, Falkenberg and whoever, I don't know who is the president now. This is me. They can check my father on their files, Lazarus Maponga. They can call me tomorrow morning. I'm here to verify. He's still alive. You can put him on the station to speak directly to the world church and say, this is what has been happening. But I'm not doing so to lambast the church. Church could be doing fine, but your policies are evil. And these are the things that my father deprived me of a good life working for the church. He also recruited me to join in. I put 33 years of my life in the church. And when he showed me his retirement, I said, I don't want that. I don't want that. No, thank you. No, thank you. And if this is your plan for my life, I'm sorry. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Now they're going to the GC next week. I hear more than 200-300 million is being blown for people to come and sit around and lift up their hands and go home. But the people who build this church are on $7 a month. I'll show them the middle finger also. They take the church with everything that it represents and go to hell and hang. Bunch of hypocrites. I don't believe in that. And by the way, when I'm sending the church to hell, I didn't say God is evil. The people that are running the system are evil. And if they know God, and that God that they know has not changed them, then they are the same. They're the same with the God that they believe in. Maybe I don't believe in both. So you get your worldview changed. Yeah. Your land application is changed. Your priorities are changed. Your vengeance and your anger and protection of your estate is changed. I like this part, by the way, which is happening right now. Israel is bombing Iraq. They're burning Gaza with guns and bullets. And Africans are praying for Israel. But Israel is at war with guns. Are you Mumu? Are you Mumu? The Israelites are going to war to fight. And you are praying. How does it work? The whole Old Testament is the war of land. Young men, hear me now as a theologian. From the Garden of Eden, it was a war of land. Abraham, it was a war of land. Isaac, it was a war of land. Jacob, 12 sons of Jacob, land. The wars of Psalms, the wars of Kings, wars of Ezra, Nehemiah, wars of Ezekiel, captivities of Babylon, the exiles of Jeremiah, the lamentations of Jeremiah, the Habakkuk, the wars of Zechariah, Malachi is land. Jesus is born, it's land. Herod was counting census, it's land, population control. From the Garden of Eden to the Garden of the New Jerusalem, land is the conversation. If you don't discuss land, shut up. Shut up. That's the only ministry that we have, is a ministry of land. Without land, there's no life. From it we come. To it we shall return. We don't own our land owns us. I thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. We don't own land, our land owns us. And I also heard you say that we should marry 2 wives.
Land. And then the one who makes children. Because if you marry this one to make children and you don't have land, what are those children going to eat? Your land is your wife. The extension of that. The land is your wife, but the land is also your mother. She will help you to look after your wife.
Wow. Powerful, 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 powerful. Wow, 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 wow. That was powerful. You've been dropping bombs for the past hour. This is the most fire interview. The most fire interview I've done, Mzee Maponga. This is the most fire interview I've ever done. Thank you so much. What are the last words? What? But before you go, about religion. When you leave church, or when you leave, when you stop going to church, they'll immediately start saying, "Oh, so you've left God now? So you know, like, so you've lost faith in God?" And I'm like, no, I still pray to God. I still love God. It doesn't mean that I think religion thinks that they have a monopoly of God. What do you think about that?
Man, religion puts mediators. Spirituality connects you directly. I don't need a mediator between me and the soil. I don't need a mediator between me and my breathing. I don't need a mediator between me and my water. And my soil, my water, and my air make me to what I am.
Yeah.
That's my creation. Spirituality simply says, when I am interacting with these elements, I must reverence them, because what is outside is what is inside. There's no church there. There's nothing. It simply means when I'm drinking my water, I need to be aware of what I'm doing. That's consciousness. When I'm taking food to eat, I must be aware. That's consciousness, to know where it is coming from. When I am touching, when I'm breathing, I must be aware that and the combination and constantly being aware of where you are and what you are doing. I think that's a beautiful place to start. If you want to worship anything, start there. Start there. Literally hold your breath. And next time you are breathing in, be aware that what is keeping you alive is outside of you. What you are eating is sustaining you. What you are drinking is sustaining. And once those 3 elements become, and when you find them in abundance, like in the sea or in a pool, or you're walking into the forest and you find plenty of them, something in your spirit must actually start moving towards them and say, this is part of me. And I think if we can understand that natural, which is Psalm 18, by the way, the heavens declare the glory of the Lord, the firmament and everything else, day by night they sing. If we can understand the 2 Bibles, the written word and the living word, which is nature, we don't need to go to church anyway. Your bodies are the temples of the Holy Spirit. Then what the hell are you looking for in church? If God is already here, where are you going? Hey, that's for another day. That's for another. I don't want to start theology, please. Just leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Thank you so much. What are the last words you'd like? Like I said, you inspire a lot of people, especially in Kenya. People love you. I know you've been here. People love you in Kenya. A lot of young people, a lot of my friends really, really. In fact, when I told them that I'm putting you on the show, whoo, they said,
I want you to. I don't want to say anything. I want to say it at Kirinyaga. I want you on your station to organize 50 young people, get a date, and I will come and we're going to spend 3 days at the caves there, and we're going to have bonfires, and we talk. And when I start that day, I'll say the closing words. Don't learn my words. Don't memorize me. Learn my ways, and my words will come to you. Don't follow me. Don't follow me. Walk with me. I need company. Walk. So don't memorize. Don't try to get quotations. That's not the issue. Learn my ways, and my words will come to you. Life is experience, not theory. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Asante.
Asante sana.